creatively stuck right now. I keep jumping between everything and it's just, I'm not getting anything finished. I'm not getting anything done because I keep jumping around. I can't decide what I want to do, so we're changing that up a bit. So instead of me jumping around and not finishing anything, I have come up with a plan that will get me hopefully to where I want to be or kind of around the area of where I want to be. On the way, let's just say that. So I have thought about the way I learn, the way I time plan, all of that, just so I can fit in and finish what I want to complete and what I want to learn. So I have used the format of a critical plan. If you don't know what a critical plan is, I suggest you find out. I learned about a critical plan when I was in university and I love it. For time planning, for management, for ticking things off your like to-do list, great. It's a chart and I've put in like the weeks. I'll show you mine now on the screen. I've put in the weeks, I've put in what I want to complete, what I want to learn, and I've just broken down everything into little tasks and put it in the week that I want to complete it. So what I want to do in 10 weeks is start on pattern grading. I want to start tailoring. I already have a bit of tailoring knowledge, but I feel like I need to further adapt that to get somewhere with it. I need to get back in creative mode with my designing and illustration. I haven't designed and illustrated properly in about it's been a time. Let's just say like a few years maybe. And yeah, I just need to get back on it, back on the roll. So I thought the best way for me to do this would be to keep myself accountable by sharing it with the world, with you guys, just to see how far we actually get. So this is my plan. So I've set out what I want to do, what I want to learn, and I've done it. I've decided what I want to do by looking at a few books and deciding, okay, this is what I'm going to learn and this is what I'm going to work with for the 10 weeks. So for the tailoring, I have decided I'm going to use this book, which is Vintage Couture Tailoring by Thomas von Nordheim, this one. And I've decided that I'm going to work through the book. In 10 weeks, I'm going to tailor a jacket in 10 weeks. I did it in university. I'm pretty sure we did it in 6 weeks, but university seems to do modules intensively. But I've decided to spread this over 10 weeks as I don't want to rush anything and I want to like really soak up the knowledge. So yeah. I could have drafted my own jacket pattern, but as convenience, like for convenience, I decided that I would not do that and I would just use this, the Ravina suit mood sewing pattern. As you can see, it comes with a suit jacket and some trousers, but we're just going to be working on a suit jacket for the 10 weeks. So in week 1, I have printed this out. I'm going to stick it all together, cut it out, find my size and cut that out. So yeah, I think we're going to mark and cut the fabric out as well this week, which is exciting. For my pattern grading work, I'm going to be working through this book, Professional Pattern Grading by Jack Hanford. I'm going to work through the women's wear section as that's what I am good at. And to do this, I'm also going to be using this this book by Winifred Aldridge. It is called Metric Pattern Cutting for Women's Wear. I've been using this book since university, so I've been using it for about 5 years. No, I've been using it for about 8 years now, which is absolutely crazy. Um, so yeah, that's what we're working on. I've also got a little side project going on for a Father's Day present for my partner, so you'll see bits of that maybe as well. And then illustration and design, for that I'm just going to see what comes up, see what comes naturally. I know that I want to at least design a mini collection within the 10 weeks, so we'll see how far we get on with that. But the point of this is the point of the illustration bit is, and the design bit, is to just get drawing, get looking around, you know, seeing what inspiration I can find, what pictures, what images I already have from places I've already been, you know. So yeah, we're just gonna see what happens. So I think the first thing we're gonna work on is the tailoring. So I've got my pattern. The first step is to stick that all together and cut it out, and I also have to read chapters 1 to 3 in the Vintage Couture tailoring book as a background bit this week, along with all the other things. So first we're going to work on that, and then we'll see how we go. So this is what I'm left with. I've got 1, 2, 3 to tape together, then I'll tape it to this one, and then I'll tape it to this big one, which is great because space is an issue, but we'll get it done. Okay, so it has been a few days and I have got nothing done. So we're gonna get started reading now. So I've just read chapter 1 and 2 of Vintage Couture Tailoring, and I've got some notes. So I will come back in a bit and I'll finish chapter 3, and then I'm ready to start cutting out and getting to work on the actual jacket, which is quite exciting but nerve-wracking at the same time. I have made a suit jacket before, so I'm quite confident I can get it done. It's just I haven't done it in a while, and I need to practice some stitches, which I'm looking forward to actually. So yeah, maybe we'll get that done today as well. So it is the next day. Today I'm going to practice the stitches that I'll need to actually complete the jacket. So I've got little strips of fabric that I will use double up to make my samples of the stitches that I need to practice and maybe learn if there's a few that I don't know already. So that's what we're doing today. So this is my pad stitch sample, as you can see, it's got a curve to it now, and that's what this stitch does. So this stitch will be used on the interlining of the body, and it gives it the shape for the chest. I've probably done mine a bit too tight, that's why I've got so much curvature in it. So the tighter you do the stitch, the more curve. The looser you do the stitch, the less curve. But I've done mine pretty close together. And I've pulled the threads pretty tight. And then this is what the other side should look like then. I wish this was a bit more uniform, but no one really sees it when it's inside. But yeah, I think this side is pretty neat. Maybe there could be a bit more spacing between the section here, which is where there's more curve than anywhere else, because down this end is a bit flatter than this end. So this is the folder that I made in uni. It's got some seams in there. This is what we had to do in our first year. This was like one of our first like project things. So this is my like reference folder. So what I've done is I've put my tailor stitches that I've practiced, ooh, get over, all in here. So as you can see, here's my stitch, here's a bit about the stitch and the name. So I've done a cross herringbone stitch, I've done a running stitch, that is this. We've done a sink stitch, which is the one that you can barely see. We have done a fell or slip stitch. It's along, you can't really see, it's along the side. We've done a back stitch, which is when you go backwards. The whip stitch and the variation. Now, I want to try these again because I think I could do better, but just for the time being, they're in there. We've got my chain stitch, which is this. We've got my pad stitching and my feather or baseball stitch. And we've got my blind hem, which is this by here. So that's all the stitches that I've done and completed. So yeah. So this is the fabric that I am going to use for my suit. It's got a sheen to it. I think it's a wool silk. I got this when I was at uni. The designer donated a bunch of fabric to our final year students, including me, which is me, because I was final year for our final collections, but because of COVID I never got to actually make my final collection. So I've just had this bolt of fabric just laying around. So I think this is what we're going to use. So we've got my fabric, and then we've got the suit pattern here. So I'm just going to take it out, and we are going to lay it, do a pattern lay on the fabric so I know how much fabric I need. So we're doing that right now, and then I'll like chop along like the fabric where I need it. Then I'm gonna press it to make sure it's all nice and flat. Okay, so let's do that now. I am wearing Sonic trousers, they're my partner's, but we'll, we'll forget that. everything is laid out. Next step is to press the fabric to make sure any shrinkage comes out of the fabric. I don't think anything will come out of it. I'm not too sure if it will shrink, but we'll have to see. So it was good to check anyway. So we're going to do that. I've left plenty of space around each pattern piece just in case it does shrink, which is great. We still got plenty of fabric left as well for trousers, which is amazing. But the trousers should need less seam allowance than the suit, so that's a plus. So yeah, we're going to press, and then after we've pressed, we can chalk out. Okay, so right now we are going to block our fabric. I've got a scrap piece here just to make sure that I'm not going to burn it with my iron. Just see how it irons and which way it is best to iron it. See, I've got that little thing over there. Let's try and get it out, shall we? So my iron's on a medium heat and I feel like it irons quite well. Like that looks like a good bit of fabric to me. If you can see that. It looks the exact same as an unpressed bit. Sorry, there's a little bit on there. So I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to use a medium heat. Now I think that leaves a nice press. The back side. Yeah, I think we're all good. Good to go. Pressing and blocking my fabric. Okay, so I've got everything cut out. This is the collar, pockets, part of the other pockets. I've already started basting this, which is the facing. So that is everything for this week. I've got all my bits cut out. So next week we are ready to do the interlining and get the bodice shell pieces all tailor's tacked so I can see all the marks on each side. We're also going to get a start on the other project as well that I've talked about, so I'll see you then.